Morgan Stephens. I'm a sophomore. I'm studying journalism and political science, and I'm a commuter student. I usually wake up around 6:45. I take my dog out, and then I start getting ready for my day. The first thing I have to do is have a cup of coffee. I can't function without it. Have some caffeine, start getting ready, and try to get out the door as soon as possible. And then once I get to campus, it's looking for a parking spot and the parking structure that I've paid to park in, and then walking from the parking structure to my class. Well, I don't think it was a conscious choice to commute. My husband and I, we moved to Pasadena before I knew that I was admitted to USC. And at that point, we didn't want to, break our lease. And of course, I wanted to go to USC. So it was kind of just one of those things where, okay, I have to find a way to make this work, and I'll just deal with it and, get through it. And that's basically what I've been doing since I was accepted. I can't really think of any pros about being a commuter student. It's very draining. You could say being able to remove yourself from the stresses of a campus environment, but even that, when I get home, I have so much work to do. Cons? Okay, how much time do we have?
As much as you want.
Okay, my husband and I, we have a dog, and he has to take our dog to his work every day. Something as simple as letting the dog out, you have to think about. Of course, there's gas money, like the financial aspect of commuting is tough. You have to have a car, obviously, unless you're taking the train, which that sounds like a complete nightmare. Like that, I can't even imagine having to do that. Once you get home, you've already sat in an hour's worth of traffic, and the last thing you want to do is start your assignments. There's not enough hours in the day for you to actually sit back and not do anything. You have to start your assignments immediately, otherwise you're gonna get behind. I calculated it, and I figured out how much time I actually spend in my car commuting per semester. And it came out to 10 days. That's a lot of time that I lose from being able to spend it either relaxing, regrouping, or working, being productive.
How do you pass the time when you're stuck in traffic or something?
I usually will listen to either classical or NPR, just to try to keep my sanity. So I need something that kind of decompresses me, and I feel like classical or listening to the news is something where I can kind of just zone out. I think that the traffic just adds to the stress of what you're already dealing with as a student. But I don't think it's, the end all of a commuter student. I think weirdly, you get used to the traffic. I think it's a lot of what you miss out on as a student. I think that that's really the most challenging part of being a commuter student, is that that you're missing out on a lot of things that your fellow classmates get to participate in, and it can feel a little bit unfair, but you try to make the best of a situation and you just work through it. And I would just advise other students, try to get as much sleep as possible. Sometimes I just feel like I have to put something super jarring on just so I can stay awake, because I'm sitting in traffic. I'm on 4 hours of sleep, and I know I'm gonna be sitting there for the next hour or so. It's gonna be stressful, it's gonna be tough, you're gonna be tired, you're gonna be exhausted, and you're gonna sometimes feel like no one really understands because they're living so close to campus, and you're just struggling to try to make it to your 9 a.m. class on time, and you've already, overcame all of these obstacles by 9 a.m. before you even walk into class. So there was actually a situation this semester where my 9 a.m. Class, the professor in that class was very adamant about not being late. She was like, okay, if you're late, you're gonna miss out. We take a quiz at the beginning of every class. I was super stressed out about being late to that class. And of course it's a 9 a.m. class, so it's the worst time for traffic. I walked in, and I checked my phone too, it was 9:01. And I walked in, and the professor, she said, "Oh, you're late. You can't take the quiz." I think I was just
at my breaking point, and I just told her, I'm like, I'm taking this quiz. Like, I don't care. I am doing this. And she was like, oh, okay. That's fine. You can take it. I'm like, well, thank you. Thank you for not making my day even more stressful than it needs to be. I don't want to be those student who tells their professors, oh, by the way, I'm a commuter student. You need to be more lenient on me. Because there's no excuse. I mean, as an adult, I know that no matter how tough it is, someone's done more with worse.
I'm glad that story had a happy ending.
It did have a happy ending. I mean, I had to fight for it. And you know what? We have a great relationship now.
That's good.
Yes, because she understands me, I understand her, and we're on the same level.
That's great.